Great. Let's review the quiz questions from last week. Let's see the value. So the homework here, the question here is, I'm not asking just the answers like the number. This is not a math class or English class. We are looking for the Java statements or Java code to show the result. Okay. So let's see the value of 10 to the power of 5. Let's see a question about the math, the last few math functions we tried, the power of. So let's see, we have something here. No, not there. The power. Oh, my phones go away. Let's do that. So let's clean up that. We want a mass. So the 10 to the power, that's this, come out, print. So the mass dot POW, first is the base, second is the power. So it's a 5. So that should print the result. And we just run it. Yeah, so it's 100,000, 5 zeros after 1, obviously. So this is the answer. Okay, next one, the value of 22.33 rounded up to this near integer. That's a question on the math function called ceil. Oh, actually, it's a ceiling. So we put a number there. And that's a ceiling that gave the round up. That's the next integer that is greater than this value. So that must be 23. I run it. Yeah, so it's 23. It's not, oh yeah, it's not an integer. Oh, well, it's integer value, but it's still a double. So it's 23.0. And similarly, the next one, the value of 10.99, rounded down to its nearest integer. Oh, well, near integer value. Well, question is called an integer. That's not precise. So, so that's actually the function name is floor. 10.99, 10.99. That must be 22. Oh, this is 10. So it's 10 there. A natural logarithm in base e of that value. So that's, I think, that's the log. And value 5.436. That should be fine. D or without D is okay. D is optional. It knows it's a double. So see what happens. Okay, so it's a 1.69 something. I don't know why I picked that number. Okay, let's see. 5, the tangent value of the angle of pi, quarter of pi. So the tangent, we didn't try tangent, but we can, you can look up the tangent from the math functions or reference. Tangent is tan, and it's asking for the pi. So you don't have to enter from that pi. You just remember that mass, that's a mass constant, not a function. That's a pi and divided by 4. So the tangent value. So I guess from your math class, you know it's going to be 1, tangent of a quarter of pi on the 45 degrees, 1. That's when the both sine, cosine are the same value. That's why the ratio is 1. Yeah, so it's 0.999, that's close to 1. Right. String, back to string. The string is hello world. Yeah, so I'm asking for so to do that, remember there's string method, because string is a class or object. So it has methods. One of them is length. You can do this, I think. Remember the double quote that make it the text to a string. Hello world. That's a string. Let's see if that's a string. I call it length. Length. Yeah, it can. It can. Good. So you can see that that's a string and a dot. The dot will invoke its method length. So let's see if that works. That's a syntax error. Got too many parentheses. Cancel that. So it's 12. So if we count, the 12 characters, including the exclamation. So that's one way to do it. Or another way, of course, as always, you can always save the value into a string. Hello world, semicolon, and print out the length and string, that's string variable, and then the length. Now so that's another way to do it. This is a more actually professional way, because you don't want to. This is a short text. If this text is long, then it's really hard to read. So actually, this is a preferred way. Okay. If you run it, should give the same result. Yeah. Also 12. That's another thing to do. Oh, to all the lowercase value of hello world. Okay, fine. Lowercase. So you can either, again, there's a string function called a to uppercase. So that's the one way to do it. Or do this way, same thing, to uppercase. So this one, both will give the all uppercase. Oh, actually it's asking for lowercase. That's fine, let's try uppercase. Yeah. So to the lowercase, just use the lower. Okay, lower. Come on. I suppose lowercase. Okay, that's that. Oh, Christian variable, blah blah blah. Let's skip that, because we didn't have time to look at the special characters in a string. So we are going to do that today. Special characters. Because sometimes you need something like a single quote, double quote, backslash, something like that. And since Java string use a double quote to define a variable, then if you want to really want that, that quote to be part of the string, now you can see it's just error, right? This error, syntax error. But if you really want that, you can use the backslash. The backslash is called escape character. It's just escape means, okay, the character after me, is special, and I want to keep that. So now if if I remove the backslash, now it's syntax error. If I add it, then it's okay, fine, no problem. So that's a way to print out the double quote. Okay, now if we run it, now you can see hello, then double quote worked. All right, well, even though that doesn't make sense, but if that's something we really wanted, then that's how we do it. Or like, or something like Tom's book. That makes sense, right? You want to use a post that single quote there. We do that. Oh, actually, this one you don't need a backslash. Now watch. See, that's okay. So because the double quote is on the around the thing, so that's okay. But sometimes you still want to make sure that especially actually the web page, you want the single quote, you put the backslash, to be safe. So for this single quote, then the backslash is kind of optional. What if I want a backslash in the string? Tom book, like almost like a in Windows, the directory structure, let's say you have a directory structure, Tom books, like a math book, and so on. And now it's a syntax error because the B and the M are not a special character, and you try to escape it and it treat it as syntax error. So you cannot escape B or M. But how to print a backslash? And just like the single quote or double quote, type a backslash twice. So in this way, the first backslash indicates this escaping sequence, and the second the backslash is actually treated as a normal character and print up. Now if we run that thing, now you can see Tom backslash books backslash math. What if you sometimes there's rare case where you want the double backslash. I want double, 2 backslash. How do I do that? you just basically for each backslash you type it twice. That's the rule. Just remember that. If you need a 1, you type 2 backslash. If you need a 2 backslash, you type actually how many? 4. Because for each backslash you need a 2. You need a pair. If you want a 3 backslash, you just type 6 times. Now watch. The first one 2 backslash, and then 3 backslash. It's pretty crazy, but just remember for 1 backslash you type twice. And there are some other special characters or escape sequences in a string, Java string, like \n, that's to have start a new line. \r is a carry return, just like the return key on your keyboard. And \t is a tab. Tab is up to like 7 spaces, I think, or can be less than that. And B is a backspace, and it's almost like the delete key, delete 1 character before it. And F is a form feed. We are not going to try that because we cannot try that from the command line. Let's try the first 3. So new line, let's see. If you want to print the Tom books math at 3 separate lines, you can just like have a new line. The \n means start new line. So let's try. Say Tom and then books and a mess. So N means a new line. Let's say character return. See if we can try that. Return that same effect as men. Where is that? Hello world. That's hello world there. Masses. Backslash n. So that's the first one. Let me get rid of the first one. Come out. Oh, the lowercase. Don't do that. Let's see that. What's that thing here? Let's see what happens. World. Hello world. Yeah, from the command line. Let's try that here. See how the web shows. Because character return is different from new line, so it's hard to see. Oh, okay, so on the web, it treated as a new line, break the line. But from this console output, it lost the hello. So this console output and the web page output is different. And let's see, next one. Oh, the tab, yes, the tab. Let's see if you say, okay, give me instead of single space, add a tab. That's more than one space, just put a T in middle. So, and so the hello and then multiple spaces there. But on the web, I think it will behave differently because the web page sometimes doesn't display space characters in the right way. Let's see. Okay, well, that's not bad. It's not bad. So that's almost like a 4, 3 instead of 7 spaces. I think the space is like depending on the how many characters before and after. So if we type hello, make it longer, see what happens. Yeah, now it add more spaces actually. So it's just depending on the, I think, count the character in front, but it add up to 7 spaces. Okay, on a tab, yeah, we got tab. The backspace, yeah, backspace. I think delete the just like you hit the delete key, or the backspace key on the window keyboard, just like that. So if you want to delete one in front, add a B, it should delete O out. Yeah, it get rid of O. So oh, that's B. Okay, that's special characters. We may need use it in the future classes. Let's change this subject. Instead of we did the math, we did the strings. Time to learn some Java logic statements. Let's start with if else. We will have more. Switch, while, and for. There's quite a few more logical statements, but so let's start with if and else. So if obviously is if something do something otherwise or else do something else. So it's like it's a code flow controlling statements. It control the how your code runs. When the miss certain condition, when certain condition is met, you run one block of code. If not, then and do something else. So that's a control, flow control. So the if, well, if you use if statement to specify a block of Java code to be executed, yeah, if a certain condition is met or true or false, if it's false, then it just skip that block of code. So the syntax is if, and I think there's a space. The space probably is optional, but for readability, you want to add a space and then parentheses, and there's a condition. Condition mostly the comparison, the comparison operations we learned before. If the comparison returns true, then do something. And that's just single if. I think we looked at the code before. Let's do the if else. I have some if else here. Oh yeah. So let's get rid of that. Make sure the curly braces pair, otherwise there'll be error. So let's see, we have a variable, an integer is a time, or maybe let's call it hour. And let's say hour is 20, that means 8 p.m. And then we have a check here, if statement here, if the hour is less than 18, then good day. That means it's before 6 p.m. So it's a daytime. Well, yeah, it's daytime, including the early morning, a printer of the daytime. So if we run it, obviously it won't print anything. So it doesn't print anything, right? It doesn't print anything because we gave hour 20. It's asking for if it's less than 18. So if say, okay, how about afternoon? Let's say afternoon. How about 5 p.m.? 5 p.m. that means 17. So if the hour is 17, then it will print good day, yeah, because it's less than 18. So that's just if, right? The if is simple. And how about else? The else is normally doesn't come by itself. Else it always comes with if actually. So if statement doesn't work by itself. It's used obviously to run another block of code if the condition is false. If the condition is false. So that means okay, 17. It's good day. Oh yeah. The else block is executed only if the condition is false. If the condition is true, this thing just skipped, because so it's just either than or this one. They don't run, at the same time. So then we just add that. The syntax is you can do this. Yeah. And system data out data print. Then so if it's not day, then good evening or good night, something like that. Right. So in this case, let's see what happens. Yeah, is because hour is 17, it prints good day, and this good evening is not printed. It's just this line is just actually just skipped. If you say change the value to the 20 p.m. or 8 p.m. and obviously this condition is not true, so it's not less than 18, then we get good evening printed out. So I run the this part. Okay, that's if else. And then there is this else if statement. It means if there's one condition, this is condition one. If the condition one is true, then it just run that block, and then the rest is, ignored. And then the else if means, okay, if the condition one is not met, how about condition two? It just asks, how about condition two? If condition two is met, it run the second block of code. If both one and two both not met, then run the else. Else is a catch-all, the final block. If neither is true, then do this one. So that's condition one, condition two, and that. Let's see how that works. So it's just same as here. We added something like this thing. And copy here. Yeah, the else if you can be on the same line, but or can be broken, but normally it's good idea to keep them together. So some language actually use this. I think, yeah, some language like that, or even some language like this. But for you have to separate them. And so, getting this hour, that's fine. So now is okay. It's an hour less than 10 a.m. If it's less than 10, then, well, I think a good morning. I think a 12 is better, right? The morning time. You can say good morning as long as it's not noon time. Yeah, just before the noon time, it's you can say good morning. Otherwise, check if it's less than 6 p.m. If it's 6 p.m., you can say maybe good afternoon. Okay, otherwise, probably it's evening or night. So now this hour is still 20. So hopefully we still print the good morning out. That's, good evening out. And if it's 13, that's obviously 1 p.m. So that's a good afternoon. And if it's close to 9 o'clock, then it's good morning. So that's how the if, else, if, else. And also, the number of else if is not limited. You can only have one the starting if and one else, but in middle, you can have as many as you want. Yeah, let me copy that. You can have as many as you want. How do I return here? Oh, that's too many. Delete it. And another one, delete it. So, tab. Oops. That's fine. That's fine. Just unlike them so we can see better. Yeah, so you can have many else if, but you have to make sure the conditions don't overlap. So if we say let's change that. How about if before, how about 8 o'clock we say good early morning, And otherwise, if just 12, they say good morning, right? And if it's less than 15, then maybe we can say good. Of course, no one say that. Good early afternoon, but try to, demo the if else. And then if less than 18, 6 p.m., good afternoon. Otherwise, good evening. You can, you can even add more else if, if it's less than 20 is good evening, after 20, good night, something like that. But let's see what happens here. Let's say it's 14 hour. That's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We hopefully say good early afternoon. Yeah, good early afternoon. So you can see that the else if statement can be used multiple times. There's no limit. As long as you have that many condition check, check that's condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, condition 4. Neither of those, there's else to catch also. Else if single, and the else if it can be multiple, unlimited. Also like that, you can have more, right? That's how. But of course, later on when we learn the switch, in this case, like, oh, I got too many else if, then actually another statement called the switch. That's the thing to deal with the multiple else ifs. Okay, that's that. Back to the else if, the single else if and else, just if that, else that. So basically, condition met, value is that, condition not met, value is that. So for this kind of no else ifs, just for those lines, you can use actually ternary. I think I typed this wrong. Ternary, yeah, I think maybe it's ternary. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I typed it wrong. No, yeah, it is ternary. The ternary means, okay, if the condition is met, okay, the value is that. Otherwise, it's the second. So it just, handle that if else very well. So if that's true, then the value is that. This value assigned to the variable. If the condition is false, then it's the second. Remember, this is the key thing. Condition and this question mark first, and then this column here. So remember that. And then two values, two value options, or two values. And there's a condition check, and of course this assignment, the equal sign. Sign the value, either that one or the second one to the variable, depending on if the condition is true or false. So that's called a ternary. Okay, it's a shorthand of if else. Let's try it. So here we get rid of that. We don't need that. Okay, get rid of the space. Nope, not that. So this is a if else. If else. Then we also can do this. Let's save the result. So the result is a string. So we give the string, just call the string, or you can just call s. That's fine. Or you can call the greetings. So that's a variable name. So, and the ternary is okay. Is our less than 18? Oh, okay, 8, fine. Then question. Question means here, just like if. Is our less than 8? If yes, then they give the value is a string, said, okay, early morning. I don't have to say good. Otherwise, how about good day? Okay, and semicolon. So because it's a variable, remember that it's a variable. Greetings, that's fine. I don't know why it shows some yellow things. The value is very good, it's not used, fine. Oh, that's not, yeah, no, we are not using it yet, but we will use it. System output, and print the value, and greetings. Now it's gone, now it's used. So if we print the greetings string, we should have this same result. Good evening, let's see. Oh, no, good day, actually. Yeah, it's good day. So it get that second part because the condition is not met. So then change that to a different value. This is 4. Okay, now 4 is less than 8, then should get that value. Because when the condition is met, we get the first value assigned to the variable and the printout. Yeah, it's good. It's early morning. And the good thing with ternary statement is that you can even put the whole thing. Just use the whole statement as a string, or as an integer even, if the value in middle is integer. So that's the beauty of this ternary. But with if else, that thing you cannot save the value into a variable. You have to, you cannot save it unless you have to add the assignment here if you want to save the value. Let me copy that in, replace that. You can see that. You can even put the whole statement as a parameter to this printer method. We don't need that anymore. And that should give the same result. Early morning. Yeah, you get the early morning printout. So that's the difference between the regular if else and this ternary statement. Even though they give the same result, but in the code, they can be located in different places. Let's see, that's ternary. Oh, I said the thing can be saved in not just string. We can use even use integer. Integer. Let's see. How about score? Let's see. How about grade? I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. Give a grade points. Let's say you got a 90 points for a exam. If there is if it's greater than what, 90, then you got score. How about the character? You got an A, right? If less than that, I don't know, there's B, because that's at 90. If it's 60, it's not B, but just to show that. So I don't know, score here. Oh, not used yet. And then the print score out. Say your grade is 90 points. That's not greater than 90. So you should get a B. Yeah, you get a B. And if your grade is 95, then you should get an A. Never should have called it 95 score or anything. A B is great. But anyway, you know what I mean. So yeah, if you get 95 points, then you get an A. So that's that thing. So you can use different values, or you can use even you can use the integer as a value. How about we reverse it? If my grade is A, I get the character. So, then you cannot compare the single character. You can say my grade is A. Okay, then let's say, okay, then your points may be more than 90. If you didn't get an A, then your score may be less than 90. You got a single there. And of course, we have to save as a string. Otherwise, it complain. Oh, quote there. Oh, okay, here. Let's see. If you got an A, said, okay, you got an A. If you got an A, then you must, have more than 90 points. If not an A, then that's because you got a lower than 90 points. Let's verify that. So I'm A, so I should say, yeah, I got more than 90. Yeah, so you got more than 90 here. Okay, so that's how you use this ternary statement to replace the if else. Okay, I think that's all we got today. Again, I think, oh yeah, I gave you a few questions, so think about. It's primarily based on the thing, special characters and the if statement and if else. And then this one, I ask you think about an example that may use multiple, or actually not multiple, use if, else if, or else. So I could check two conditions. Like earlier we checked the hours, morning, early morning, early afternoon, something like that. Come up with something you can use this logic, okay? And and the number 4 is if else, then you just like this one, convert that into a ternary statement. Oh, like TER, forgot. So yeah, try that one also. Okay, and I think that's it today. I'm gonna start the share and have a good evening. Bye-bye, everyone. And the meeting.